Hi, everyone. Today in religion, we've talked about bishop and we talk about some leaders in our church. And so I thought it'd be kind of fun today to go ahead and read you a story about Pope Francis. So we're going to read the story of Pope Francis from the National Geographic. Who is Pope Francis? Well, Pope Francis is the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He lives in Vatican City in Rome. That is the home of the Catholic Church. There have been many popes or leaders of the church over the years. Pope Francis became the Pope in 2013. The future Pope, Francis, was the name he chose when he became Pope. Until then, he was Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Jorge, that's how that's pronounced, Mario Bergoglio. We're going to move my little face over here then. He was born on December 17, 1936. He grew up in Buenos Aires, that is the capital of Argentina. Bergoglio was the oldest of 5 children. As a boy, he played soccer and basketball with his friends. He liked to read also. There he's with his brother Oscar. His grandmother Rosa taught him to pray. On Sundays, he went to church with his family, just like you do. Here's his elementary school, and we see a class picture. He's right here in the corner, choosing a path. Bergoglio liked to learn about his faith and the church. He was 17 years old when he first thought about becoming a priest. He wanted to help people learn more about the church. When he was 19 years old, he entered a seminary. There, he studied to become a priest. A priest, we know, is someone who serves God and may also be the minister of a church. A seminary is a school just for future priests. Bergoglio, with his parents and 4 siblings, he's on the top center. So this one right here he would be. Bergoglio wanted to be part of a special group of priests. That group is called the Society of Jesus. Its members are known as Jesuits. In 1958, Bergoglio joined the society. Here's a picture. It says St. Ignatius of Loyola founded the Society of Jesus in 1540. That was a long time ago. He believed in helping the poor and giving to others. And that is truly what our Pope does. Pope Francis was the first to do a lot of things. Did you know? He was the first Pope from the group of priests known as the Jesuits that became Pope. He's the first Pope to be on the cover of Rolling Stones magazine. That usually is a magazine for bands and movie stars. He is the first Pope from the Americas, from South America here. He's the first Pope to choose the name Francis. He's the first Pope to pose for selfies. And he's the first Pope to which is pretty cool in itself. Helping others. Jesuit priests believe in helping the poor. They do not spend much money on themselves. They live simply and give to others. And that is what Bergoglio wanted to do. He studied for many years. He also worked as a teacher. In 1969, he became a priest. Here it shows when he was 33 years old. Help each other always. Bergoglio became a leader in the church. In 1992, he became a bishop in Buenos Aires. His job was to help priests in the city. 6 years later, Bergoglio was named archbishop. That meant he was in charge of an even larger area. So here he's holding a mass or church service in Argentina in the year 2000. He often worked to help people in the poorest area of Buenos Aires. He reminds me a lot of Mother Teresa because he did have this love for helping others and helping the poor. Some fun facts about the Pope. For his 77th birthday, Pope Francis invited a group of homeless men and a dog to join him for breakfast. Jorge is the Spanish word for George. Spanish is the language of Argentina. Pope Francis gets up early to pray for 2 hours before beginning his day. So I think we all have plenty of time. We can probably, when we say we don't have time, he spends 2 hours. I think I could spend probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He was an excellent cook. His mother had taught him. As a young man, Pope Francis collected stamps. Now there's even a postage stamp with his face on it. He's been a lifetime soccer fan. When Bergoglio became archbishop, there was a large home with servants where he could live, but he said it was too fancy, so he moved to a small apartment instead. He also said no to using a special car with his own driver. He rode the bus and he took the subway, just like everyone else would. He used to hold mass in this church in a poor neighborhood. In 2001, Pope John Paul II made Bergoglio a cardinal. Cardinals are church leaders who help the Pope. Then Pope Benedict the 16th became Pope in 2005. 8 years later, he said he just could no longer be Pope, and he was getting kind of old, and he just didn't feel strong enough to do all the duties. So in March 2013, many cardinals met in Vatican City. Bergoglio was one of them. The cardinals would choose one of themselves as the new pope. They spent 2 days talking about who it would be. Finally, they picked Bergoglio. He chose the name Pope Francis. In his own words, and now we take up this journey of fraternity, of love, of trust among us. Pope Francis lives simply. It is what he has always done. He helps the poor and all the people who have hard lives. He also spends time meeting the people he serves, people like that around him. Some call him the people's pope. And these are just some items in Pope Francis' lives. He loves soccer. He loves stamps. And we are done. So I hope you enjoyed that book about Pope Francis. He's a wonderful man. And so have a great day. Live your life serving others.